they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀.
Hello there.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Have you seen Shege? Shegent you?
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Remember, share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them, Mayegun to today.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook.
Make I give a quick warning. Because waiting the ground now everybody, the thing go touch. It will even touch me here. Okay? But no be everybody go survive harm. But let me say this before we get fully into the broadcast. Tonight, I am not going to be in a good mood with those who are likely going to want to start playing victims. For clarity, we give kudos, or we give credit and kudos to all the Nigerians who actually publicly and genuinely rejected APC, Egbekegbe, rejected Tinubu. I know this is not sparing anybody. Okay? Now everybody, they feel them right now. But when I look around and I started seeing the Agbadorians, Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers, the Lagos, my Lagos, not your Lagos, the Yoruba APC, Egbekegbe. When I look at them right now saying, Baba Tinubu, come and Baba Tinubu, do something. This country, people are dying, people are hungry, and the rest of that, listen to me, we have no pity for you per se. So when I begin to dish all this out, one after the other, I take God beg you, don't let it die your political correctness kicking. Don't start playing that victim card. Listen, guys, if you see any weary inside the comment section telling you that Shebi people have their different choices in a democracy, what is wrong for people who voted for Kolu? That at least they have their choice now. So why are you abusing them? Why are you kind of, you know what I mean? Listen to me. Anything where you get, use them, cost them, anything. It is going to be war of words anyway. But from my own end here, you can trust and count on me for everything that will be coming out of my mouth as we progress into the program. I am saying this to you so that you can know where you are. Just in case if you are new on Mayegun's Diary Political, don't come here and start all this pity party. Pity party like, maybe they are just disappointed. Maybe it is too early. Maybe God, God can still touch them. No show face here. Since morning, every cause that those who have felt the bite of this latest shot, after those who have been who use their religion, tribe to push a divisive politics that brought in Kolu, majority of you know if you come out to say anything. No. So if you love yourself, I will advise you to stay silent. You see, in Ijebu, we have a saying in Ijebu, and that saying is that ori joko wa yi ri o le ma wa ko ma ne pe un ko ma ne pe un e le down we need down. If you are a thief and they start cursing whoever stole this, now so it go be for you, you will do this, you won't be able to say a word. That's exactly what some of you have been experiencing since morning. I'm not your friend though, so don't look at me and say I thought this my abayen shieni. I screamed, I scrammed, I was everywhere. The humbled slaves. You were on this social media telling everybody, Ashiwaju go do 8 years. Now, we don't know whose Oju is currently peeling right now. But we believe that some are screaming more than the others. I have seen some of them who said, all of you are just pained because your candidate lost. The bottom line is this: whatever you have asked for, it has arrived. It just arrived early delivery. You would have to live in austerity, they said, because things are going to be a little bit hard. So all of you will need to brace up. For Nigeria to work, since he has a political will to remove subsidy, he has the political this, he has that. That is the Ashiwaju Anwole that you voted for, Abi. The mandate. Now, the mandate accident by those who said that it will favor my family. No matter what happens, I just know to say this Ashiwaju APC go favor my family. Don't pack cow. Don't they jump okada. Because it don't affect every one of them too. So, ladies and gentlemen, having said all of that, I think we can start. I believe we understand ourselves here. When I start, no come they try to do all this your gaslighting. Mayegun, let us say don't say that. Now let's get it on. Tinubu and gang, I have told you. Everyone who knows the history of Tinubu, he has always been a thief. And when I say a thief, authority stealing, Abi, a thief that only take, he never creates. I said it before the whole thing, Abi. During your campaign, a little flashback. I'll take that one, drink tea. So I go take and do that mid-break. You know what I mean? It was between Kolu and Obi. Those who actually spoke clearly. And then Bala Bulu, a little bit flashback.
Remove subsidy. That is the truth. That is the truth. Unless you don't, and I'm going to win this election.
It's not what it is. Half of the subsidy that's been, what has been mentioned is not subsidy. First is that we consume the quantity that is not supposed to be consumed here. We are the same population with Pakistan. They consume below 50% of what we consume. So the first half, I will remove it and give those people who are drinking it water, because that's what they're supposed to drink, so we can save the money. 2, we will deal with the other remaining issue. We need the money today with our debts. We need the money to be able to invest in a critical social development issues. Look at this year's budget. This year's budget, education, which is the highest since this government came, is about 2 trillion. Health, which is the highest since this government came, is about 1.5 trillion. Then infrastructure, which is road and everything, is about 1 trillion. So these 3 critical development areas is receiving 4.5 trillion. Subsidies 3.6 trillion.
Six.
No, half year.
Okay.
Half year 3.6. So every full year is about 7 trillion. Which country will invest more in subsidy than education and health and even roads? It doesn't make sense. This is the annual budget of education is 2 trillion. Annual budget of health is 1.5.
I just thought I should make that one a flashback. You remember those who told you that they dodged a bullet when their religious and tribal politics reached its height or its zenith? We thank God we dodged bullets. Now they dodge bullets. Obi is the bullet that they dodged. All of una don't go run, jam RPG now. Tinubu. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the background of why when you see these guys, I've once told you that if you have anybody in your family or friends, okay, that says they support anything inside APC, okay, you should be very careful. In fact, you need to review that your relationship. Some will tell you, politics is not that much now. It's not that bad now. They are lying to you. You see, in 2015, when these criminals took over Nigeria, you could call that one a mistake. In 2019, when Boko Haram muzzled them, you could call that one something like foolhardy or stupid. You see the one they did in 2023, that they managed. Somehow they believe that they have controlled or they are in control of. That one is evil. I'll tell you. In 8 years, Boko Haram of APC, messed up with Nigeria and Nigerians. And he did so with the support of those criminals. Some of them that will be crying around you now or begging you for money. They were what? They were praising him. What were those lies? APC said they were going to build 1 refinery every year. So they spent 8 years. They built 0 refineries. Okay? 0 refinery. They met the refineries in Nigeria working at 40% capacity. APC, when they left the Nigeria refinery working at 0 capacity. Meanwhile, during the 8 years charade, they were celebrating that Boko Haram has brought about what they called modular refineries. You remember that time? Modular refineries. That they were telling you, modular. That they will come by the time all the modular refineries start working. By the time all the refurbishment of Kenikoke start working, Nigeria will have too much surplus fuel. Do you remember those times? People are still waiting for that. During that 8 years, Boko Haram APC government, they spent 11 trillion naira. Shongbo, 11 trillion naira on refurbishing, renovating, or rehabilitating, whatever, of your refineries in Nigeria. 0 refinery after 8 years. That same APC, Egbekegbe, they now put together Ankara, Ashwebi, Babariga and the rest, okay? And they chartered planes, private jets, straight down to Lagos. To do what? To go and open the biggest refinery in the whole world by Dangote. Wow. Nigeria couldn't build a refinery. Dangote can, Abi. Later, we heard that Nigeria facilitated over, make a breathe in, breathe out. Nigeria facilitated over 11 billion US dollars for Dangote refineries. That is still pretty much at 50% completion. Yet, they drummed this propaganda, this PR everywhere. Dangote refinery is going to start operation. And the price of petrol is going to crash in Nigeria. These criminals. Now, on the day they wanted to go and celebrate the fake refinery, what happened? Emefiole, that is now arrested, they have arrested him. Emefiole came out and said, Dangote, that is yet to produce one gallon of kerosene, has paid back over 7 billion from the 11 billion that they facilitated for him. They just did all that scam. What about subsidy? Aha, here is the interesting one. In Nigeria, it is not only petrol that your government pays subsidy on. I will tell you few that I know, okay, or I remember. In Nigeria, your politicians and their families, they have subsidy on education for their children abroad. They have subsidy for medical care abroad. If they are going anywhere abroad, they have subsidy on your dollars, on your forex. So they don't. What subsidy means is that if they are going abroad, for example, for medical care, all they have to do is to just put in the receipt. They can say it's going to cost me 35,000 US dollars to go for my medical checkup. So all they would do that they would just submit that request through their office. And as they are going, Central Bank of Nigeria will go and make provision for that dollars for them. So, which means I need 35,000 US dollars or I need 100,000 US dollars. For you who want to buy the same dollar out there, you have to buy at whatever exchange rate they are selling, whether it's for your business or for your school or for your medical, whatever. If you need that, you will go and buy it at that rate. But you see these guys who take subsidy from government, they give them the same dollar at the ridiculous exchange rate, like 100 naira to a dollar. So all this subsidy, they just write them under recurrent expenditure, overhead expenditure, kind of, or ESTA code, any name they give to it. That's how they draw their own subsidy. Well, you know, the one that is causing wahala is the subsidy for the poor people or for the general, which is the only subsidy that Nigerians actually benefit from their government. How does that happen? What do I mean by that? On petrol in Nigeria, more than 80% of should I say machines, including your power plant and the rest of them, uses petrol, diesel, then gas. So the lifeline of the entire country is attached to the price of transportation. Can you believe that? So therefore, if you want to make everybody from everywhere to feel touched, that's what you do. Remove subsidy. Before these criminals came in, I'll tell you the history of subsidy now again. Before these criminals came in, the PDP corrupt government was spending 200 billion, 400 billion, 600 billion a year on subsidy. When these criminals came in, the subsidy money first jumped to 1 trillion, 1.2, 1.4, 2 trillion. And before all of these subsequent changes and jumping, right, in 2016, just like Bokwari did now, just like Tinubu did, Bokwari also announced removal of subsidy. And that was why from 87 naira, remember, the petrol jumped to 170 or so naira. There was going to be a protest, or there was a protest or so. So they reduced it back to 125 naira. Few months after that, it jumped again. But what they didn't tell you, or what I kept telling you or reminding you of, is that why they are playing all this back and forth war of you, to make you believe that they are removing subsidy little by little. I mean, if you say you remove a party, later when they say, but you removed the subsidy last year, which subsidy are you removing again? They said, no, they didn't remove the whole subsidy. They remove them small. That if they had removed it solely, Nigeria will be buying petrol at 1,000 naira per liter. That was what they told you. Remember? So they were removing partially. So how come that when you are removing subsidy partially, is when Nigerians are paying more? Is when the government of Bukwari was paying more subsidy. I tell you, they said they are spending too much, 800 billion on subsidy for petrol. And because it is too much, they want to remove it. So petrol will become 147 naira or 145 naira that you later said to Dabi. So, which means some money are being saved from what they used to pay out. They don't pay them out anymore or pay that much anymore. Now lie. When the receipt of a subsidy will come, Nigerians were paying more for fuel. Government of Nigeria was paying more for subsidy. Trillions, until subsidy comes to nearly 6 trillion. Lord. And Nigerians are still paying more. And these criminals, so these alagbelebi ombudsman slaves, that are going to still come and try and tell you one abracadabra story on this Tinubu, they are so maybe they are too hungry right now to have the strength to even fight back. Waiting till Tinubu unleash on them in this last 6 weeks. They didn't expect it. They were not expecting it. Are you with me? These criminals then said Bukwari was the best thing that ever happened to them. And we say, Eje, Birigidiya. So 2023 came, and they did as they normally do. They were more interested in ethnic, tribe, and religion. And the Igbos that they made the cardinal focus of their political struggle made them forgot all of the. They didn't forget. That's why I said that the 2023 one is evil. Because they actually are those who experienced these same criminals for 8 years. So what happened? Nigeria started borrowing money to pay subsidy in trillions. More, they were claiming then that Nigerians were using more fuel. Then we found out now that it's a scam, right? So subsidy wasn't removed by Bukwari, but it was paying trillions and trillions for that. So Tinubu came and he said, subsidy must go. What's the plan? What's the, everybody's going to be affected. Your children school, they're going to increase their school fees too, because they also will have bills to pay. They have staff to pay. That little clinic where you normally go to get your cheap drugs, you will not be able to, because they will also have to add money. Your landlord will add money because he also have children to care for, have family to care for, and he has to put it on the rent. That market woman and men who have their wares, when they go to their suppliers, they pay more. When they have to pay more, then you will have to pay more. So everything just like that. So he didn't think about that, and he said, subsidy is gone. Now, if you say subsidy is gone, Baba, which other right do you have to announce the price of petrol? The same one that you no longer have control over. I told you, subsidy is not gone. So they woke up this morning and they told them, hang on, let's start from this one. During their campaigns, Peter Obi was talking about how he was going to tackle the corruption in the subsidy, this subsidy, that. And in one of his tweets, he said, we will reduce the subsidy cost by over 50%. We will support local refining for domestic use and priced strictly in Naira. Once we tackle insecurity and farmers returns to farms, our food production will go up and inflation will go down through the reduced food prices. With the removal of subsidy, effectively reduce corruption to minimal level, reduced bloated cost of governance, and above all, support and incentivize export to stabilize the currency exchange. Yeah? And on the right is one of the Agbadorians that you picked up there. Ashiwaju, we don't want your palliative. Go and build refineries with the 500 billion. And they were begging people to please help them share. Meanwhile, there is also one there that said, I saw a book today titled How to Survive in Nigeria, written by Professor You Never See Anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, Obi stated, he didn't say he had any magic wand. Tinubu never explained anything. He never debated. His campaign, he was telling you that he was dancing. I only came here to dance. Nigeria was burning. You expected those who actually understood your problems. In those charade and lies, one person stood out. It was clear. It was very clear. But a lot of you were blind with the hate for the Igbos, where it come from. The hate for maybe for something better than the slavery. Today, you are now asking dumb questions, stupid questions, like what Obi would have done. Tinubu has criminals around him that he holds a lot. Yes, he does. All the criminals holding Nigeria down that have found solace in APC, Egbekegbe, kidnappers, money launderers, certificate forgers, election riggers, bunch of rogues that value human life, that value less anything that has to do with human lives. You saw them for who they are. You gave them the backing. And you are looking around, looking for who to blame. Like you want to make yourself feel good. And say, but they are all the same now. At least they are all the same. You know, I've had people who have come here to say that too. If you are one of those who have told me on my program here that it's just that they are all the same. Even if you are one of those who are regular here on the platform, one of the things that actually destroyed Nigeria today is the fact that a lot of you are closet Oloribu, pretenders, hypocrites. Let's drop all of the shade of all this nonsense. You have all your excuses that you can give, and most of the time I just listen to them here. I just say, okay, yeah, okay, right. Okay. Olori buruku niyi. You see, we know what Tinubu represented. The Lagos state that is the mega shitty of the world. You know what Lagos is. You know the kind of Lagos they have actually given to you. The slum they gave to you. But guess what? You are now giving credit to a man that became the landlord, rent seeker, rent taker. You have seen oh dear. But guess what? You told yourselves, except for the fact that if we remove the corruption from Tinubu is better. But for those times that they were all doing all their charade, you closely and say, well, I am not in support of one Nigeria. I am not in support of election. Because you know something, Mayegun, they are all the same, you liars. If to say, we should take, like you said, let's even just say, yeah, we don't believe in their elections, as in we know how it's going to be. But does that now mean you should continue to lie to yourselves? career criminals whose crimes against you, whether directly or indirectly, their position and standing behind this Bokwari and the destruction that Bokwari brought upon Nigeria. Abi, you saw somebody who was like, it was of no class of theirs. If all of you want to be honest with yourselves. You know, I prefer people to say, you know what, Mayegun, I just don't like the Igbos. You know what, Mayegun, I just don't like this Obi. That's quite honest than for you to put all of them together. Because Olori Brukuni. Peter Obi happened to be a former governor. Yes, he's a former governor. Okay? He ruled the state that is pretty much like a 20 times smaller in economic value than Lagos because of the strategic position of Lagos. Now, under that time, in the history of Nigeria politics or history of your Nigeria politicians, those you know, he happened to be the only person that has no single corruption anywhere against him. I mean, he happened to be the only person. You were looking for, at the point he came out, he said, if you find anything, any money of Anambra State, traced to either himself, his family, number one, when you see it, take it. All right? And not just that, it will stop running. He said that publicly. He challenged you. He challenged all of you. But no. He killed people. He ordered this one. He used Anambra money. He invested Anambra money in his family. Olori Brukuni. Now, the person that actually took the entire state policy, put it in his own wallet. And you know one thing what I observed that time was that people actually hated Obi for not being corrupt. I saw all of that happen. And I saw you hypocrites, even on Mayegun's diary political. You pick up your phone. They are all the same. How? Tinubu is drawing pension. Since he left government since 2007, he is drawing pension from Lagos State. So many of these criminals are drawing pensions from the impoverished state they looted. These different states they looted for years. When they were living, not only that did they take as much properties of the state they can take, landed properties, building, you know what I mean? Not only did they do that, they put themselves on lifetime pension. This guy never drawn any penny from the state he ruled for 8 years. He didn't become a godfather, that is now appointing who is going to be who or who. And all of these are typical character of your criminal leaders. But Ironi, Mayegun, Obi is a corrupt, Obi is a kinikon, Obi is a bigot, Obi is a religious. People who chose Muslim tickets in a country that is religious, where you have religious adherents, be waiting you to call yourselves. In a country where religion is your life, you won't pretend, say, you don't tell yourself that your religion is better than the other. You Muslims, are you not telling yourselves? Some of you are you not telling yourself that your Islam is better than Christianity? Some of you Christians, are you not telling yourself that your religion is better than Islam? In that same country, they choose Muslim ticket. They started blackmailing all of you for rejecting that. And right before our very eyes, we saw them where they are saying this is a jihad. It is a jihad. Islam must rule. We saw them, the gathering of Islamic sheikh, the cleric in northern Nigeria. We saw them in Yoruba land, where they are saying, do you know how many wives I get? Me, as I am here, I have 4 wives, and I have about 20 children. Oh yeah, we'll go and make, they said they don't want Muslim. We saw all of that, but yet, you will still turn around and say, Obi is a bigot. Obi is the one who is using religion. Olori Bruku now. At any toja Christian, at his Muslim, at his Babalawo, at his Mama Lawo, at his brother Lawo, at Uncle Lawo, whoever you are, which is wizardy. Everybody they collector now. No be so? Lojuwa, our very eyes, Lojuwa Korojubai. You chose Muslim ticket in Nigeria. You stood by it. And we knew why you did that. It's not because Nigeria is such a place where people are so advanced, people are so enlightened, religion doesn't mean. Bokwari APC, they supervised the killings of Christians in Nigeria. You coward, efus, akpamus. You turn it around. You abandon terrorists. You started looking for those who reject them. You are anti-Muslim. At anti-Muslim, at pro-Muslim, at pro-kiniko. How far? You dey see shege to you. I want drink tea, they come. Don't go anywhere, I don't sweat. I want go turn off the eating as well, right? I'm coming.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
Thank you very much. If you haven't really shared this broadcast, once again, I advise you should. I mean, try to, if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So, but we saw all of that. And I personally told you that if you take a look at all of them, can we just at least be honest? That even if you felt like Tinubu was anything but a corrupt failure who has maintained the structure of bribery and violence, disobedience came and they exposed that. How dare you turn around and say, Obi is this, Obi is the same as them? Just because you know what you are bargaining for, the evil. When you did it in 2015, it could be considered as a mistake. In 2019, it could be considered as you're being stupid. But you see this one in 2023, it is evil. We saw the ruins. We saw the future. We said the only thing that will shield this criminal is if they manage to rig and stay there, you back them. Now you are turning around and asking stupid questions like, what Tinubu would have done? Do you know who they are paying the subsidy to? Hang on. So if subsidy is already removed and people are already bringing their fuel already, why is NNPC announcing the new price? Who are they? What's their own stake? You still haven't seen it, Abi? Anyway, they have increased it to 600 and what have you. A lot of you, as expected, you will need to adjust again. It go pay or it go work for my family or whatever. It's going to favor my family. Many of you are already parking your cars. Some of you are already putting for sale on your cars. Your jobs, your businesses, your jobs, you have been told already that it's like we're going to downsize, so we can no longer pay you. That is the Yoruba Ronu that they sold you. I remember when this guy, it was one of those flashbacks, by the way. What is his name? This Bendu.
I told you that he doesn't sleep until like 4 a.m. in the morning. And this is like past 12 and he's still not even feeling sleepy at all. Daddy, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
You know they sleep, you know. But I want you to listen to this. What Mele Kyari, the head of the fraud called NNPC in Nigeria, and according to him, wait, before I miss this, another thing they are telling their gullible morons who listen to them is that the reason why the petrol price is going up is because dollar is going up. And when dollars go up, okay, the import on petrol will also go up. So I have something to tell you. One of the things that Kolu did when they said that he's taking action, I said to him, was when he announced that he was suspending Emefiole. Okay? And they made some announcement. Part of that announcement was that there is no longer bank exchange rate or black market exchange rates. So may everybody go, they look for their dollars and sell at whatever price they liked. Just to make all of you believe that they are now making it, in a way that is going to be a competitive market. So if you see dollar, sell them. If you see dollar anywhere, buy them. Any amount you want to, that it will get to a stage that there will be so many dollars, there will be too much dollars available that the naira and dollar will begin to go down. Sure you get. But this is what they told you. But behind the scene, it is just an announcement. There is nothing behind it. But for those who are smart enough, and I did tell you, their plan was that when they tell you that the exchange rate is now free for all, everybody go and buy anywhere. That's the reason why you will see a dollar for 800 naira here, or 900 naira there, or 700 naira here. But don't worry, it's just a matter of time. Very soon, there will be so much dollars. And it's about supply, demand and supply. So when you demand for dollar and there is more dollar available, okay, that means the exchange rate will be reduced. But I did tell you what they were planning to do. They wanted to hold whatever they can get from the crude oil sales, all right, in the next 3 months. In fact, probably more than that, from May to August. So the plan is that, you see, when they get paid the royalty from crude oil, instead of sharing the money, what they will do is they will take all the dollars, no matter how many billions they can get, $2-3 billion, right? They will take the dollar and put it in the central bank, which is going to take the receipt of the dollars. Now, Central Bank of Nigeria will now print equivalent naira, and they will share that naira, like they normally do. They will share that naira to all the states. You know that they have bulk dollars, if they can get that much. So now that they have bulk, if they have bulk dollars, they will now give those dollars to banks. Sure you get. For example, let's say they were able to mop together $2 billion royalty oil money, okay, in 3 months. So $2 billion, if they have that cash in the Central Bank of Nigeria, or if they have that cash in the Central Bank of Nigeria or as a receipt for them, so they can easily just say, oh yeah, GT Bank, give them $50 million cash. What do you call that one? Access Bank, First Bank, UBA. Oh yeah, give them $100 million cash. Give this one, so yeah, $50 million cash. Now, once the money lands in those banks, now all of you want to go and buy dollars. Central Bank will now tell those banks and say, you see that dollar we are giving to you, we want you to sell it for 400 naira to $1. You know, it's ridiculous, Abi. I know there's nothing these criminals can do just to prove a point. It's a big loss, Abi, because it's like you have a dollar equivalent of 2 billion, which ordinarily should be somewhere around, what do you call it? You know, maybe about 2 trillion or more naira. Sure you get. So if you now give them to the bank and say, this dollar I'm giving to you is worth 2 trillion naira. Okay? But you know what? Don't give me 2 trillion. Just sell it for 1 trillion. I am ready to bear the loss of 1 trillion. Sure, you get? That's what that will sound like. But that's what they are planning. They wanted to pump in dollars into some certain banks and tell them how much to sell them, to sell the dollars. So they can now use that and say, there are more dollars now. You see, Naira is now gaining against dollar. Sure, you get? That's the plan. Oh. An economic voodoo that will plunge so many businesses in that rabbit hole. A lot of businesses are going to die. Yes, not because they wish for you. That voodoo politics, it is called the behind the scene abracadabra. So it will bring a momentary satisfaction. Like, dollar is now 500. Wow. From 900 naira to $1. $1 is now 500. I say, yes, now go to GT Bank. If you need $1 million, they will give it to you for GT Bank, 500. Go to First Bank. If you need $2 million cash, they will give it to you, 480. So you see that loss, will be covered by Nigeria, by these criminals. They will carpet it. And then the news, the media will carry that and say, hey, the dollar is coming down. The Tinubu's government is doing wonder. The result of what happened is now coming out. The level of propaganda, by the time some of you will open your eyes, everything you have will be gone. I'm telling you, it's going to happen like step by step. Okay? They will play the media propaganda enough that the day they will finally tell you that it is over, a lot of you will not believe what they would have taken from you. A lot of you. Okay? Now, you know they are kleptomaniacs. They are thieves. Like I said, if, that was what they said their plan, okay? Now, if the dollar can land, with these tribunal threats here and there, court threats here and there, if this dollar they are expecting from the crude sale land, and their greedy eyes enter them, they decided that, you know what? People will go find their way, Jare. They will find their way. Oh yeah, send 1 billion to Kiniko Swiss bank. Help me package $500 million into Kiniko. They are taking them to, sure you get. Last, they may not even reinvest that money as they are planning. So, as you know, Nigeria, nothing goes up and comes down. Nothing. You are only just going to try and get used to it. Some people will get to the point that they will get to the middle. Of like they will be like, my head is just I'm managing to keep my head above water. Kind of. But you see those who are going to drown in the ocean of this hardship, a lot of you are still pretty much praising them right now. Or in fact, you are hopeful. You will believe them. So they told them, they said the reason why the petrol price is going up is because the dollar is going up. Isn't that so convenient to say? From the same political party that promised you one new refinery every year. If they are delivered on that promise, by now, you would have 8 modern refineries built by APC. Here you get. The modular refineries that they said Bokwari was building. They said Bokwari has built 20 modular refineries in Nigeria. Baba, ordinary pure water, the modular, no they squeeze. Because they are all lies. Bokwari went to Lagos to go and commission what they call the mono train. How far with your train in Lagos? Your electric train. The one that will be traveling from Lagos Island to Badagry. That they came to come and do. How far with it? You don't lock them up? No, because it's not completed. This is a project they started 17 years ago. 17 years ago. That one that they brought Bokwari to come and commission. And they quickly brought in coaches here and there for campaigns. Now, after that, we saw them pushing the train. Up to this moment, that train has not carried a single passenger. Except for excursion, when they want to do their media PR. They will pack students, school children. They will put them on one of the coaches. They will move them forward, move them back, and take their pictures. And say, once it starts working, all of you will get student card. You can travel on it. But it never work. So, which of their lies will still sound new to you when they push them. Which of their narratives are you still going to buy? That actually gives you that confidence that people who have never really done anything good in their lives, they haven't done anything good in their lives. See, when they said they were building bridges between the North and the South, it is now becoming more apparent, more obvious, that they were only building the bridge between the North and the South to import the poverty, the feudal system, the Alimajiri system, the Rankadede system, the begging system, that the criminals who control Northern Nigeria political space, they have sustained for decades. This is what they have now brought to Southern Nigeria. That's the bridge that these criminals have been building. That's what they have been building. The bridge of poverty, the bridge of endure. It goes soon better. Now, if you are telling people to endure, isn't it also good for you to cut your own cost? These guys have never cut any cost in their lives. If they tell you they want to cut, Bokwari even lied to this. So Bokwari lied to them and he said he was reducing his salary by half. By the time Bokwari finished with Nigeria, he has reduced their lives by half. A lot of them are just walking corpses today. Hunger, frustration, poverty. In Southern Nigeria, I was reading it in the news just before I came live, right? And they said the residents of Ibadan, they are now complaining of too much beggars in Ibadan. Oh, you go see your own brothers and sisters. They will dress like Alimajiris to beg because the way of life that these criminals sustained in Northern Nigeria has been imported to Southern Nigeria. And these guys who always take, they never cut cost. I mean, what did they tell you that you actually believe? I know they didn't win, oh. I know they rigged you. Sure you get. So that is why those ones who told you that Ojunyemabo, Ojuabo, and the rest of that, who are now turning around to tell you that it's because you lost. That is why you are angry. And the rest of that. No. When you see them, right? So whatever they want to twist it as, these guys continue to take care of themselves. 8,000 naira for you. 124 million naira for them each. 40 million naira to buy, $40 billion, naira to buy cars. In this Nigeria right now, 35 billion for judges. For what? For 8,000 naira for you. And then when they said they will give you 8,000 naira, they increased the petroleum price by 100 naira. Abinobi so? Yesterday, it was 520 naira below. Today, it is how much? 617 naira, Abi. In Kano, it is 620 naira. In Ondo State, it is 650 naira per liter. I don't know how other places are actually dealing with it. Ondo State is oil producing state to real long. Ondo State was the state where that tanker stole 800,000 barrels of crude oil from Ondo State. Ondo State people who have oil, they are living in abject poverty of what should have been a blessing. Now they tell them how they're going to sell. How much they're going to pay. Now everybody will need to know, hi, Kiyari.
We had over 56, or we have 56 marketing companies that applied for and obtained licenses to import.
How they feel, Walai kò ní yẹ wọ́n, kò ní yẹ Kyari, kò ní yẹ wèrè tó sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, kò ní yẹ àwọn méjèèjì. Ara àgbàlá, no sorry. It's mo fẹ́ lò ní Chineke Pogi Okudie. Chineke Pogi Okude. Kokudanu. Market forces, what is market forces? Who are the forces? Can they tell you the names of the marketers? The forces that is determining whatever. In Saudi Arabia, the name of their national oil company is called Aramco. It is the most successful oil company, national oil company in the world. After that, it is the one from Russia, Gazprom, I've been a Gazprom. This Aramco is in charge of anything oil, gas, or whatever in Saudi Arabia. Every penny that comes from there, and those who do business with them, they know them very clear. Who are those who are importing the petrol to Nigeria? Can you give me their names? As a typical Nigerian, make up some names. Lagos Abobaku. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Make up some names. Give me names of the fuel importers. The marketers that they are paying subsidy to. Don't look at you. Don't stop shaking your head.
Stop shaking your head. Because that's sacrifice for you. You should stop shaking your head. You are one of those who are causing problem. They gave you chieftaincy, a young boy, so you don't even know what to do with it. And then when I'm speaking, you're shaking your head like this. Oh, fake, causing problem everywhere. You just go and wear something that's bigger than you. When somebody looking for power, you would think that an elderly person, very small young man, this man. I know when I was in school, he was running around, going for errand. Now he's wearing Osman Danfodio.